Rachel.Evans. I'm part of the community development team here at Horsham District Council. We're part of Think Family across West Sussex, and our main role at Horsham is to support and oversee the work that takes place under the Think Family Neighbourhood banner. Think Family Neighbourhoods is about residents and communities identifying needs and issues in their own areas, and together coming up with plans and with support taking those forward to make and help families improve their own lives. Think Family Neighbourhood funding, in this case with Wish, has enabled the Billingshurst Community Partnership, who've acted as the lead agent in this work, to employ a facilitator to run weekly sessions with local parents and families, but also the wider community, anyone who's been looking for work. I won't dwell too much, only say that Think Family Neighbourhoods really has brought together the community with our own economic development team, bringing together lots of different strands, but the pure one around employment and helping people get back into work. I'll let the rest of our partners tell the story, and indeed we've got some case studies of local people who've benefited from Wish. So as I say, I won't dwell, I'll let them carry on. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lee Chambers and I am Horsham District Council's Economic Development Officer for Employment and Skills. To support a thriving economy, it's as important to have the right jobs and the right people with the appropriate skills for these jobs. It's also vital that we ensure that all people, regardless of background or geography, have the opportunity to work. Whilst unemployment in the Horsham District is not as serious as in other areas of the country, we nevertheless think it is important to support unemployed people and help people through barriers they might face. These include long-term sickness, mental health issues, limited qualifications and skills, or even limited maths and English skills. It is also important we recognise that being a rural district, there are communities restricted by limited public transport, poor digital connectivity, which means local support services are key to people living in those communities being able to access work opportunities. This is why we wanted to set up clubs such as Wish, Work, Information and Support Hub, which provides employment support for local people delivered by local community partners such as Billingshurst Community Partnership, and with the support of other local services and businesses. Wish Billingshurst is a successful pilot project where nearly 30 local people have so far been supported on their journey to work in the last 8 months, and we want to do more in other parts of the district. This can only be made possible by working with important local partners, and if you can, we'd like you to help. Thank you very much.
The Billingshurst Community Partnership is a voluntary organisation, but we are a company limited by guarantee that has been running since 2005. We represent all of the major organisations within Billingshurst, of which there are about 18, and we involve ourselves in partnership with as many organisations and clubs and groups that want to affect change for the good of the people and the environment within Billingshurst. The emphasis on Wish is about people's personal development and empowering them and allowing them to recognise where their strengths are and how they want to, we encourage them to develop a journey, a pathway into employment by encouraging them to think about what their actual aims and objectives are and what is actually stopping them from getting to that place. We're not about finding them in employment, but clearly if we hear about local employers that have jobs available, then we would want to signpost them to that. So the key components, as far as I'm concerned, is that sort of motivational side of things. It's about planning, allowing them to plan their journeys from where they are now into employment, and hopefully, ultimately, helping them find employment. I think that all local communities need the support of voluntary organisations and statutory organisations, preferably working together in partnership, which is what Wish does, and it works really well. And I think Billingshurst was chosen for Wish because we are big enough that we've got a wide enough base of the demographics. We've got young families, we've got young people, we've got redundant and people that have perhaps got learning difficulties that are seeking work. We're big enough to support a model or a club like Wish, and we're not too big that we would be overwhelmed by it.
So as a facilitator, I'm responsible for really welcoming people to the group. And it's really helping people to integrate with each other. So we have a really wonderful session of just checking in, how's the progress going for their job searches. Then we do some training and have a very relaxed coffee break, and then individuals go off and do their own activity. Very often people in the local community don't have the transport links to be able to go into a town environment or a local job centre environment. So being local brings local people together, helps people to come together and realise that they're not on their own, that they are, other people out there are doing a job search as well, and it helps people to connect and find the opportunities within the local community for local jobs. The WISH model is really run over 6 or 7 weeks, and initially we begin with a profiling, so we get to know the person who's coming to the WISH group, really what their aspirations are, what their goals are, really what do they want to get out of the 7-week plus experience. So that's the initial activity. Then a person would begin to come to each session, and each session allows that person to work on identifying their strengths, really clarifying what their background is, what their work experience is, creating a really good, up-to-date, credible, marketable CV, and also practicing interview techniques. So it's a really good process to allow a person to really take time. I think that's probably one of the really beneficial things, to take time and assess their current situation. What type of job do they want? What drives their passion? And what are they really good at? What can they bring from their past into their current job search? The real most beneficial element of this is the connection. The connection with other people who are on the same journey. So it's realising that actually people aren't alone and they're part of a journey that other people are going through.
Well, we feel that libraries are a neutral, free, open and welcoming space. They provide essential services for all members of society, particularly the unemployed sometimes. Find it difficult going into some places. Some say the job centres, they find it quite difficult going into, so it's a sort of neutral environment. And for many years we've worked with job centres. Before we had free internet access, we offered free internet access for job seekers. So we feel we've done quite a lot of work in the past and just want to continue with that service to as many people as we know out there looking for work. We can help them get back into work. That can really be a good thing.
They're invaluable, to be honest. Since we started the WISH actual project up, what it's done is all the customers that are in the rural areas, it's helped and supported them the journeys of having to go into the local job centre in Horsham. So for them to come into one main area and to integrate with each other and not have that shut off just 20 minutes interview with a work coach in the job centre itself. They can come to a more familiar area, i.e. their local library, and have an in-depth sort of up to 3 hours session with WISH, with actually people that they in their local community, work with them, and have the expertise from an actual trainer to go through modules with them, so it's been invaluable.
My partner saw it advertised and I thought, well, let's give it a try, go and see what they can do for me. So I rang them up, rang Denise actually, I spoke to Denise first, and then came and joined.
First heard about Wish from the job centre, and I decided to come along to see what it was about, because I thought they might be able to give me some support in finding some work or getting back on the right tracks of looking for work.
I heard about Wish at the Family and Children's Centre. There was a big sign as you walked in when I was volunteering there, and really wanted to get back to work, so thought that I'd ring Denise and then popped along to the Wish programme.
The best thing for me was the CV for a start. They start you right from the beginning and they actually plan your CV for you. I'd already done one, but not right. So it was great really to get that help, and they really start you from the beginning to the end.
I feel when you become a full-time mum, especially when you're a single parent, you lose a lot of confidence, and I feel like just going along to that gave me a lot more confidence, and being able to meet people was really, really good, yeah.
I left Wish because I actually got a job. I became a carer, and in actual fact somebody actually dropped leaflets into Wish, and I rang them up, got an interview, and I'm now doing the job of caring, which I thoroughly enjoy.
I've actually just recently been offered a job up at my daughter's school as a midday meal supervisor, so I shall be starting that as soon as I hear back and once my DBS check's been cleared. So yeah, and go on from there and hopefully eventually get to where I want to be.
I left Wish because I found a full-time position, 30 hours flexi, not exactly what I wanted. I would have preferred part-time, but they managed to fit the hours around childcare, so the nursery opening and starting times throughout the week. So yeah, it benefited going back full-time, plus you get more money. So.
Absolutely. Yes, really, really would. They're worth going to see, and they're great help.
I would definitely recommend Wish to other people because I found it really useful and very helpful to know there's people out there that are prepared to take the time to help those who are looking for work to get back into work. And it's just a really supportive group, and everyone's really friendly and nice and support each other.
Yes, definitely. Definitely would recommend helping with your CV and just like pretend interviews, and just gives you all that. You know what to say when you get there rather than